Hey guys, you ever tried in fly fishing? And today we're going to be tying a Euro nymph. We're going to tie the Perdigon, and we're going to get started on this thing right now. Alright, so in the vise today, I have a Tiemco C400BL, so a barbless jig hook in a size 14. For a bead, I'm going to use Hareline faceted slotted tungsten bead in a 1/8 gold. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just set my taper. I'm going to do that with 0.015 lead wire, and I'm going to put 6 wraps on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's good there. And I'm just going to pack this here, make sure my bead is where I need it to be. Put that in there, and that just seats my bead, and this is going to start my taper. So just going to tuck this little piece of lead in here, and then start my thread. For thread, I'm going to start off with some white thread. This is Veevus 16-aught. You can use any small white thread here. Basically, what I'm trying to do is have a nice light thread for my underbody, and then I'm going to switch to my hotspot thread at the end. You'll see when we get there. So get rid of that. So the next thing we're going to tie in is going to be the tail. And for tail, with most Perdigons here, you just use coq de lion, and I have this in a dark speckled. You can get away with almost any color here. We're just going to make sure that we grab a very sparse clump, maybe 5 or 6, a little less. So I'm going to take my measurement here with my coq de lion, and I want it to be somewhere around, a shank length to a little bit less. You can vary that up. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we tie this in and bring it all the way back to this lead here. Again, we're just trying to keep our taper. And that looks a little long to me, so I'm just going to pull these and tighten it up a tiny bit. That looks fine there. Guys, if you like these videos, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Comment below, let us know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, and hit the bell notification so you're notified of all of our future fly tying videos. So once I bring my thread back up here, I'm just going to trim off this excess, and then I'm going to tie in my wire. I'm going to use this wire to rib the fly. So I have gold wire in a Brassie size. This is UTC. So I'm going to butt my wire right up against the thread, the lead wraps here. That's just going to make sure that my taper stays nice and consistent. I don't have a bump. The next thing I'm going to do is tie in my body material. You can use pretty much whatever you'd like for a body material. I'm going to use some Antron yarn in a brown. This is going to come out in a color combination that's between, a pheasant tail and a hare's ear. So I think it's a pretty versatile, pretty effective color here. So I'm just going to bring that all the way back, and then bring my thread up all the way to behind the bead. Again, kind of smooth out my body a little bit if I do have any issues. And then I'm going to leave my thread right behind the bead. So we're just going to wrap this. We're going to take tight, touching, slightly overlapping wraps to create a nice, smooth, even body. And then we're just going to tie that off right behind the bead. And get rid of that. And then we're just going to take open spiraling wraps here with the wire, and this is going to be our rib. The nice thing about this fly is you can tie it in so many different color combinations. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to bring my bobbin up to support this while I helicopter this off. And that's it. All right, so I'm just going to whip finish with my white thread here. I'm just going to throw 1 or 2 just to get it on there, and we're going to cover this up with our next thread, which is going to be our hotspot color. So for hotspot color, I'm going to use UTC 70 and fluorescent fire orange. I'm just going to take a nice tight little wrap here and create a hot collar. And then we'll get rid of our tag and then whip finish right over that. So you see we just created a nice little hotspot. Super simple. Tighten that down, and then we'll get rid of our tag here. Alrighty. Let's check that out, make sure my tail is good. And then we're just going to cover this whole fly in Loon UV fly finish, and I have this in a thin. You could do it in a flow as well. I find that I have a hard time controlling the flow, so I like to use this thin. I just got a little bit on there, and I'm going to spread it around. Just make sure the whole fly is covered up. This will help increase our durability and also cut down on drag, so this thing will sink like a rock. All right, so I think we got it pretty well covered. We'll hit that with our UV light. And then we'll finish this fly up with another little bit of UV cure here. And I'm using Loon UV in black. So I just take a little bit of my bodkin here, and I'm going to put it on the back of the bead. This is going to be our wing case. Oop, a little heavy-handed with that. It's okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. Super simple. You can change this up a little bit, you know, change up the colors and sizes here, and you can pretty much imitate whatever you'd like. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.